Finally, for a change, we start on time.
Yeah, you're on.
Awesome. Right. Yes, Jen. So be kind is my new thing. Being kind is super important, I guess. Not I guess, I know it's super important. And yeah, Lulu should run up into earnings. Yes, sir. Me 60 points later, having not taken it. Well, yeah, well, they'll find another one. Uh, Various issue. I would work until almost. Anyways, let's put him today. Why not? You can join. Be kind. Uh, that's my dad. Who the fuck are you? Seriously? 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 Uh, all right, let's jump into it. Shop. This is one of those, very clear, uh, very clear moves that, and it was a big mover. It had a clear, nice move up till this resistance. And I think, hey Darth, I'm good. Just been crazy busy. How have you been? I'll check out subscribing when I get home. Fair enough. For now, you can join. Some, but today you can join. Just added a list. Right, cool. Was a GI changer. Huh. So this trade, sharp trade, I think this is where was headed, and we know that uh, uh, if you've seen my comments when it was hitting this number here or this resistance here, and Dan, this goes to the question that you asked. It is how this is how it works all the time. When you have a major moving average, when the price interacts with a major moving average for the first time, and everybody in one-on-one or knows about this, whenever you have the price hitting the major moving average for the first time, it gets rejected, and that is a uh, simple way of trading. Actually, it is the simplest way of trading. It will hit that, it will come back down, and that is why when it was testing this number, I was looking for sharp to push down to about here, right, 745, and that's the reason I was looking for that 745 number. Obviously, it blew past through that and it came back down to its 50. And if let's see what is 15 minutes saying here, and this would have been a killer shot, short if you'd have taken it. Probably it will hit 740 tomorrow, or rather the mean is sitting at 741. If it hadn't already done it, it will hit this number tomorrow. Good chances of bounce here, but that would be an ephemeral bounce till probably 747 or something. And it has to come back down, test the mean, break the mean, and push down to 737. Depending on market conditions, I think it will push down to 732. That's what's going to happen with Sharp tomorrow. So this will be a clean trade. And here, if it breaks this number, 740, whatever this number is, this blue line, basically the 5, it breaks below that, then you're looking for a test of 735, the 8. So the conditions are there for it to test that number. Uh, it is pointing down, this is pointing down, stochastics are crossed, this is crossed, one blue, one purple bar is here, maybe another purple bar will show up. If it pushes below there, it will test this number and it will bounce from here. And then SHOP. Oh, I don't think it's going to pull back down to 725. But then that's if it breaks here, usually what happens it is goes to the mean. That's how usually it works. In this case, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to go down that far. But just in case it does, this is where it will encounter its 100-day, and it will bounce off of this number, 720, 723 range. It will bounce off of that number. And to the upside, again, it might test 756 or 757, whatever that number is. And it will, if it clears this number here, if it clears this resistance here, which looks like it is, then it will head into 769, 770 range. If it clears there, then a clear shot at 790, right? But I don't think it's going to go that high for now. Uh, right about. So when it comes back down, I think it is testing. It closed above its 8. That's a good thing. But if it slips below its 8 here, then the next stop is 711. We'll wait for that bounce. And this is where, and it has a clear shot till all the way till here, 914. Will it happen? I don't know just yet. But for now, if it clears here, 757, then we'll look for an upside into 769. Then we'll push into 790. For now, let's play this range between 758 to 713. Let's play this range for now. That's for shop. And I was looking at hood. Hood looks good. Hood looks good. Hood looks good. Priming. So exactly if you extend this line, the super trend line, this is where it stops, and this is exactly where it stopped. The price stopped. So this is acting as a resistance for now. Think it will clear the resistance. Nasdaq is pushing up. So and this has enough ammo to push up. It will test the mean. If it can clear this resistance here, then it will test the mean. Once it tests the mean, there are good chances that will push into 1920, something around here. So wait for a cross of mean, and then if it does cross a mean, and look into 1934. But if it gets rejected here and then push back into 1458, that's for hood. Hood was a good trade today. Yeah, and this pattern is consistent. Cleared this resistance here. It bounced off of this support and cleared this resistance, and then there was no stopping. And this is one of my preferred setups. And the same thing happening with Adobe. Yeah, it is a major moving average. Mean is a 20 moving average. Adobe was a very clean trade today. It was a very, very clean trade. And this is again one of my preferred setups. And if the MACD crosses here, then we look for further upside uh, to this one. Lulu, this is another one. Cuckoo, not cuckoo, Lulu. All right, so this was again a great setup. Lulu was a great setup, and it was clearly, I like these setups. It was clearly starting to push higher, and my expectation from Lulu was to go hit its mean, probably stop somewhere around here. I'm not sure if that happened. If it pushed, I don't think it's going to push till here. Probably somewhere around mean. If I'm, let's see. I don't know where it stopped, but let's see if how correct I am. 343. No. Lulu. Okay, there. So it cleared here and went up till 673. Nice. Wow. Huh. That happened. Came back down and closed here. Should have shouldered it here and here. 373, I think. Yeah. So these averages, these matter a lot, right? So it went up till here to a T, it stopped there and came right back down. And it is resting around 356. So it should be around. All right, so tomorrow Lulu still looks good. Tomorrow Lulu probably it will come down to 349 or something and then push into this mean again, 359. Look for an entry on Lulu. 340, 350, 347 range entry would be good and get that entry and then push into 358, 359 again. If it clears here, I don't think it's going to clear this number tomorrow, but if it does clear, then we can look for 373, test of 373 again. And if it hits there, a push into 379 is pretty much sitting right there. This would be a very clean trade from here to here, from 50 to Bollinger Band. This would be a very clean trade. Right now, if it can clear a 350 bounce 350, then we can clearly hit mean here 358. So again, from here to here, it will be a clean trade. It will, I think, it will get pushed down again, but then from mean to its 50 on the weekly, this will again be a clean trade.
Hang on, boss. It's
For
already.
Lulu.
Hang on, boss. It's already at 371.
Yeah. No, I think it came back down, right? No,
No, I'm looking at it on the chart. I've got aftermarket. It's 370.96.
nice. Oh, it already cleared there. Wow. Yeah. So that is what percentage would that be after hours?
It closed at 344.71, went all the way to 374 as a high.
374. So right about here. Look for a push down on this thing tomorrow. So here's how I would play Lulu, right? A push above the 50, and it will hit this number 380. It's not probably about $6. It will hit this, and it will get pushed down from there. So either you can play the push above here or push down from 380 back down. And if it can break below this 370 number, which it will most likely, then we are looking for another push down to another at least 20 points from there. This will happen. And if you don't want to play Lulu, play Nike then. Nike will have a nice upside tomorrow. If already it's not up after hours, yeah, it is up after hours. So yeah, Nike will look. I think I'll be looking for upside on Nike tomorrow. It's not doing much, but yeah, I will be looking for an upside on Nike tomorrow. If I don't want to play a Lulu, I will be looking to play Nike or Under Armour is another good one, but I don't really want to play Under Armour. So yeah. And what other apparel companies do we have? Uh, isn't parent companies. Gap is one of them. Gap did report earnings. I think, but we could still look for Gap, and Gap is still a good one. We could still look to play Gap. Tomorrow, Lulu will be one that you could look to play. If you don't like to play Lulu tomorrow itself, let it go. Then you can play to the downside. But keep an eye on this one. This has ran too fast. I think it will have to take a breather, and that breather would be at least $10 to $15, and or $10 to $12 of breather. So we will catch that one. So um, this will be another one of those Amazon moments. After earnings, it ran up, and it will come down. It will hit this 379 or something. It will kind of push down from there. That's for Lulu. And let's look at one thing. SPX. SPX, last night we were looking for a push into 4682. Obviously, that did not happen. Uh, well, halfway through. Uh, and SPX, I'm still looking for an upside on SPX. And for now, I think it's starting to get into an oversold zone. So I would be careful around here. Breather is not a bad thing here. Breather is definitely not a bad thing here. I don't think it's going to go down like 200 points or what. Breather of at least give or take, 50 to 60 points. It's not a bad thing. And retail will kind of again try to get involved in these moves when it is pushing up, and they don't really know when to get out and whatnot. Like today, I was watching Twitter. Many of the people on Twitter were complaining about Microsoft. They were unable to figure how to play Microsoft, but it was a pretty simple and straightforward trade. Let's get into Microsoft. This is what I was looking for, Microsoft. Last night we were charting this, and this was the base case for Microsoft. 313314. This was the base case. We got that number. People should have exited here itself, but for whatever reason they did not. And right in the morning, they thought, I don't know, were they thinking that it will break and go above that? Usually it doesn't work that way. So and my 319 number is coming from here. This is where I'm getting my 319 number from. 31898, but this is where I'm getting my 319 from. And this was supposed to bounce around about here. So let's see why did we bounce, and what was I looking for a bounce? And I'll show you why I got involved there. Right. Uh, where is the bounce? Not here. There was a 50 bounce. Yeah, there. This was the number that I was watching for bounce. So it came back down here and started to push up. I was watching this very keenly, and I called out the trade somewhere around here. Once this doji started to form, I called out the trade here. I took this trade. I ran up till this number here, and obviously it pushed up. And the moment it came back down, I got out on this trade. It pushed me out. And then again, I got involved here uh, for another trade. I think I got involved here. I thought it was pushing out, but the moment it came back down, I got out of this trade again with a small profit here. This was a good trade, but this was a very small profit. Then I waited. I did not want to get involved here. I waited for it to push above. I think about here, 314, which is sitting about here. So I waited for this to clear, and then the next one I was waiting. to hit was this number, 315 18, whatever this is. I think I called for 315.25, somewhere around here. So this was a clear shot next. Once it was cleaning this number, once Microsoft was clearing this number right here, 314.50 whatnot, and then I was looking for a test of this number, 315.25, something like that. And it clearly did hit that. It cleared that and push up. And now, if it can hold this number, which it is holding easily, and it is sitting above this moving average here, then I'm looking for a push right into this number here. Again, if this push happens right at the open or pre-market, we can't do much. I think Rob got calls. I think he'll do good if that happens. If it pushes down to its mean, he'd be yelling at me. So let's see how that fares. For now, looking like the futures. Yeah, the futures are about here. This was a good day even for futures. Futures, did a full circle for 8, all the way from here. It went all the way to the Bollinger Band. So that was a full cycle push up on the futures. I was not expecting for this to go, all the way till here. Uh, and probably I was expecting it to kind of come back up till this high point of the day, and probably kind of come down. But futures did pull up a little bit more. That was a good one, and I think this happened because of Nasdaq. Nasdaq was pushing higher, and so let's see what's for tomorrow. Futures, even though with everything else going on, futures are still holding nice ground here. Probably it will come back and test its 8 on the 1 hour. This is the chart we most of the times we watch, 46.15, and look for a bounce there. If the bounce fails, and it will have to come back down to its mean, 4600. So this is not out of the question. 4600 is not out of the questions for future. And this all will be happening during the overnight session. So we don't really need to worry about it. And tomorrow morning, anyways, we'll look into this, right? So not really bothered here. And let's go through IXIC. And IXIC was a clean trade, really, really clean trade. And I was looking for IXIC to push up into this number right about here. And we got that number. And when I was charting, I think when I was looking for this number, 1650, 14650, uh, uh, yeah, I should have said 14646 or something. But yeah, it clearly ran into that number. I called out for this number when the markets were pushing down, actually. So it came back up and hit this number, 14646. I was looking for, I think, 14650, and clear this number and push into this. The tomorrow, if I think there is enough momentum here for it to clear this number. And again, tomorrow will be the same playbook. I think it will hit this number, come back down, and then push up. Once it clears its 100, then it will go for its 200. Right, 100 will act as solid resistance, and if it can clear that resistance, then we'll push into 200, which is sitting at 14,727 or something like that. So look for that number, and if it clears that number, again, this will act as solid resistance. 200 will always be a solid resistance, and if it clears there, then we are looking for a push into 14,890. 14,889, 14,890. This is where Nasdaq is headed. Still has momentum building around it. So look for that. A breather here is would be very welcome. A breather here would be very, very welcome. And probably 14,587. Even if it can come down, I don't think it's going to go down 1,000 points, but Let's see what would be comfortable. 14,376. I don't think even that's not. I don't think that's gonna happen. Let's see. Yeah, well, 14,578, and this is doable. 14,537. So 14,537 is pretty doable here, and I don't think it's gonna break the eight. If it does break the eight, I'm not pricing in a 300 point drop on Nasdaq tomorrow. I'm just not. It's just not happening. There's no reason for that to happen. As of where things stand, there is no reason for that to happen. At the max, 14,518. This is where it should stop. 14.4. Even this is a hard ask. 200 points down, but push comes to shove. 14.4. So a good 200 point drop. Uh, that is nothing basically, a percentage point or maybe less than a percentage point on Nasdaq. But I don't see a scenario where it will go, test its 50 on even 15. This is where it should bounce. 15, 14.5. This is where it should bounce. Let's see how tomorrow fares. Practically, there's no downside to the markets right now, unless there's something that changes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. VIX is doing pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing. So let's see if it can put up a fight here. If it does, this would again be an ephemeral fight, and it would not go beyond 2017 or something. If it pushes up from here, 1868, this is where it is sitting right now. It kind of bounced from that. 1960 would be first, and most likely it will run into 2030. I don't see it pushing up even into 22. So this is the range that you want to play VIX from 22 to 1860. I don't believe 22 is going to be happening, but just in case, right? Just in case, let's keep this number here. This will act as solid resistance, the 200, but just in case it's VIX, if it clears there, then we can look into 22. Yeah, there's a lot of resistance. Let's see how this plays out. But base case is from 1860 to 22. That's the range that I want to play. This the indicators here are quite oversold. At least want to make a comeback for VIX, at least 2090 something here, and there's nothing telling me that it's about to push. Maybe a technical push up, but beyond that, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And the five is still intact. Even if it pushes up to its five, it's 2160. I don't think it's going to go push into its eight, but let's see. 8 over 21 is still valid. Nothing here is changed. This will again get resolved just like that and push down. Uh, I don't think this is actually mattering right now. It's still down, so nothing here is telling me that there's a reason for VIX to push up. 1 hour is trying to make a green bar, but I don't think it's going to last a lot longer. Probably 1970, and then it should the 50 should act as solid resistance here. So if it can clear 8, then the mean is here 1973. We'll reassess the situation at 1973. Beyond that, I don't think it's going to even test the 21. But let's see. Let's see. Earnings are coming in good. Pretty much everywhere the earnings are coming in good. And here's the Goldman Sachs trade. Here's a Goldman Sachs trade, and I'm bringing this up because I traded both sides for Goldman Sachs, right? So this trade was a clean trade, very clean trade. And this is the reason I was trading to the downside. I see the moving average was downside, and then this is what I was looking for: 336.80. So if it breaks below its 200, and then I was looking for a test of this. So I got that number, and then when it was pushing above its 200 again, then I was looking to go long here. I got long, I got kicked out. I tried to take that trade again. I got a little bit here, then I exited about here, or rather got booted out again. This trade was a clean trade, pretty much, very clean trade. Look, you have to be looking for these trades. Today, we couldn't catch big moves because the big moves happened early in the morning itself, be it Facebook or be it Microsoft or other ones. Netflix was other one that I was trading today. I think I over traded today, pretty much. And let's see. Let's see. Netflix, right? Netflix. We were looking for Netflix probably around 391, and I think we were looking for Netflix to clear up that number and most likely push into here, 397. This is what I was looking for Netflix. Obviously, we did not get all the way till there. Here, we came pretty close, 396.50, but we couldn't get into this number, 397. I think I was looking for 397. Couldn't really get it, but yeah. And I did not I did not trade this whole candle. I wish I could have, but I did not. I got involved with Netflix around 390 when I saw Netflix going. Where is that Netflix? But before that, how many of you took the trade that I called out? Almost every single fucking one. Okay. Andre, Netflix, cool. Tesla, MSFT, nice, nice. Paper handed. Yeah. GS lost. Huh. Okay. Got a bit of MSFT, a lot of FP. Very sad with Tesla. Nice. Actually, I feel like I don't do a good job of using the charting info. Not sure why. Yeah, that's a problem with everybody for that matter. Trusting indicators. It's uh, when I'm talking all of this stuff, it's a different thing. But then when you're actually trying to execute, it's a whole different thing, right? Or when you have your money involved, that means you have your emotions involved in there, and emotions take over just about everything. You bought ACB and CGC. Yeah, I was looking to get involved in ABC, Alex, but couldn't. I will get involved into ACB. I will buy those shares and start selling covered calls on those. Uh, I think probably I'll before April end, or second week of April, I'll start to buy into ACB. And for those who were looking to do passive, yesterday I was asking you guys to sell calls on this one, GME. Oh, very safe, 300 calls going for $3 each. So I sold a bunch of them. Last night charting, I think I'll hold on to those till expiration. I think they'll go worthless, but just in case those don't pull a firm on me, I've engaged this trailing stop loss on that one as well. So that was a clean trade. That was a good trade. Um, so selling stuff to apes, no brainer. So yeah, Netflix trade came down. I didn't get involved here either. I was looking for a hit of this number here, but it started to push up. I got involved around here, I think 390.70, somewhere around here. I see this thing pushing up from here. So that's why I got involved. I got a doji, and then I started to look up in 90.70, somewhere around here. I got involved, wrote it up about $3. I think there was a push down somewhere here on the lower time frame, on the 5 minute time frame, if I can find that out. Yeah, right here, right here. So I wrote it all the way till here, and the moment this happened, my TSL hit, and I got out. Wanted to get involved again, but just did not. Mm, Just did not got involved there. Hopefully, somebody took that trade, and hopefully, they're doing good. Netflix, if it can bounce from this area here, that would be a nice one. 391.15 area, that would be nice. 389. Well, yeah. So Netflix. So this is the trade for Netflix. 391.82. This is where it is sitting right now. And if Netflix pushes down from there, which it most likely will push down, and then we will look for a bounce of about 386. This looks 386 to, yeah, 390 should be first one, but 386 is more realistic. And if it can come down to 381 or something like that, that will be a definite bounce there. And it will push into 391 again. And if it this time, if it clears 391, then we are looking at 397 for Netflix. Planning to break down some trades, equity focus, sharp hold Netflix. I feel more confident taking those equities. Yep, yep, yes, sir. And this is the one that RCX BAM research. This is again my preferred setup, and these trades usually go very nicely, very nicely. And it went up till this one. I think there is room up for 581. Hopefully tomorrow it will push up into let's see if it can come back down to 555. I don't think it's going to do that, but just in case it does, this will be a very good entry, and it will push into 581. LRCX. There. This is the number we were looking for on LRCX, and it did exactly what it's supposed to do. And I was eyeing LRCX from about here, 540. After this doji, I was looking for a hit of this number and push into here first, 562, and it cleared that. And the next is here. And if it can come back down to test this number, 563, this should be a bounce. And if it fails here, it'll come back down to 550 or 553, somewhere around here. So look for LRCX and look to play equity. This is a good equity play. What else? One thing today, uh, this one. So you see, this is outperformance, 2.6%, right? So 2.6% on RUT, that is diverging from all the indices. and this is a good thing. Whenever you see a rut going up, that means things are looking up, uh, and looks like things are looking up. Things are definitely looking up. I'll be looking to get involved in rut tomorrow if it can hold 21.24, or rather somewhere around here, 21.20. Let's say 21.20 to 21.24 range. If rut can hold it, I'll get involved to the long side, and I want to see a push into 21.64 for a rut. In fact, I can look to open a swing, but I'm very hesitant to open swings right now. Uh, I think there's one last push that will come during the first week of April or somewhere on that. So after that, oh, I look to get involved with swings. So yeah, I think the morning it will open around here, 21:45, somewhere around this, and it will come back down to 21:23. So if it does come back down to here, 21:23, 21:23 to 21:20 range, so this will be a clear bounce here. A failed bounce here will push this thing down. I don't think it's going to go down to 2080 or something like that, but I think it will come back down to 2110. And yeah, 2180 is still not out of the question, but I don't think it's going to go back down that far. But let's see, if a break of 2120, then we'll look for a bounce at around 2109 for a rut. And rut pushing up better than 2 points is a really good thing. Any specific stocks that you want me to look at? This thing is not stopping. 181. I think tomorrow it will open up around 181. I think Nvidia still has juice. Nvidia is the Tesla of chips, if you will. The big move to the downside, the big move to the upside. Nvidia is the Tesla of chips, and I think Nvidia still has room till 301. But and this rally will last. This rally will last as long as you have Microsoft and Apple, pushing higher. Uh, and till the time that happens, it is oversold here. Sorry, overbought. And this is looking like it's overbought. This is looking like it's overbought. Pretty good chances that it needs to take a breather. And after that breather, if it can push up higher, let's see, 275. So if I go by the 1 hour chart, the anchor chart, I think usually what happens is all of this will come back down to test the mean again. But right here, it did test the mean, right? It got oversold, overbought, and it came back down, tested the mean, and pushed up. This is a very consistent pattern, right? Across the board, this is a very consistent pattern. Doesn't matter what you look at. Let's look at Tesla. Same exact thing, right? Gets oversold, gets overbought, comes right back down, hits the mean, and pushes up. This is a very consistent pattern, and if Tesla can come down to, if it breaks here and come down here to 1087, probably I'll look to start a long again, but not trading Tesla till it kind of, it is getting into a squeeze right now, but not playing Tesla as of now. I don't really have a position on Tesla, and Nvidia as well. I don't really have a position on that. because it needs to get resolved. If it can come down, hit this number 283, then I'll look for a push up. If it breaks below here, then we are looking for 277 on NVIDIA. And the way that I want to trade NVIDIA is, again, same thing, just like this. I'll put socks, put SMH. Now this both are getting oversold or bought. And then you have NVIDIA, obviously. And better than NVIDIA, you can look for AMD. Right? You can look for AMD. Or LRCX is one of the ones that I would prefer. But then you have Micron as well. Oh, Micron was pushing up. So all of these are, I think, in the same boat that Micron has actually left at 5. So Micron needs to come back down to 80. What happened with Micron? Why? Oh, earnings. Okay. Oh, nice. Nice. I think tomorrow NVIDIA will push up. And yeah, NVIDIA will push up. The earnings came in really good. Uh, but I'll be watching this indicator here. It is pointing down, and this is overbought. This is overbought. So once this kind of gets resolved, I'll look for the chip sector again. NVIDIA, AMD, LRCX would be my preferred play. Uh, and if you're not into dealing with individual stocks, then SMH is a better one. Stay with this one. This trades pretty nice, 7.7 million shares. So this trades pretty nice. Stay with this one. Uh, I think I'll stay with the ETF SMH better than an individual stock. Why? Because this looks like it had good earnings, and based on these earnings, I think Nvidia also had good earnings. Any idea when is Lam Research earnings? It's April, so there's still plenty of time. But whenever this is happening, well, whenever this will happening, this it will run up into earnings. Let me put it that way. Tomorrow, because we saw what this thing did, what that MU. I think tomorrow this will run. I think tomorrow LRCX will run. I think it will push into 580, and I think alongside Nvidia will run. Nvidia will, I think, push into 300 because MU numbers were really good. So look for a push up. Let's see, AMD. I think AMD is a better one. AMD has the better risk reward here. 120. Okay, AMD is a better risk reward. I think AMD will push into this number tomorrow, 128. If not already, at the open itself. But then I'll be looking to play AMD tomorrow. This is a good one for tomorrow. AMD 126 should be my base case. This is my base case 126, and a push above this, and then I'll be looking at 128, and 130 should be absolute top. I don't think it's going to go beyond that, but this would be my base case out here. And then nice to have would be 128. And then I don't think it's going to go to 134, but yeah. Let's see. AMD looks like a good trade for tomorrow. 126. This is my base case. Let's see how is 1 hour doing. Oh, saying this, but this. So this is the 2 standard deviation, right? That's the 3rd standard deviation. That's the 2nd standard deviation. I want to be very conservative about tomorrow, and let's say 124.37 would be my base case. and then a push into 126.52. This will happen. The reason I'm not saying a base case for that is simply because I see overbought conditions here. Right? So that's the only reason I'm saying this would be my base case. This will get hit. No matter what, this will get hit tomorrow. 124.30 will get hit. And beyond that, I think it will also get hit, but I just don't want to call this as my base case. So this would be somewhere around 126.30. This will get hit. But because 1 hour is getting overbought, so that's the reason I don't want to call this as my base case. Most likely this will get hit tomorrow. AMD is a good trade for tomorrow, and 128 is not out of the question. If this gets resolved, 126 gets resolved, then 128 is not out of the question tomorrow. And one last thing. So go all in. What is AMD? I get love. What's love? Is that a ticker?
Yeah, it is.
Are those gas stations?
No, it's Love
Love
Sack.
sack.
It's
Okay.
furniture.
I see. Oh, they had earnings. They crushed on earnings.
Yeah. Turn your
Okay.
turn your regular candles on. You'll see this humongous freaking gap.
4.6 million. Nice. Don't have after hours data showing up here. Okay. Where the stop right now?
56.99.
After hours.
56.95
When
is the ask. 56.99 is the last.
69?
56.99.
Okay.
But if you turn
That's
on
where
regular
it's
if you turn on regular candles, you're going to see a huge gap
on daily or what time frame?
on the daily.
This one?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So is this where they opened? Yeah, this is where they opened. Okay. So earnings were pre-market. All right.
Yeah,
Makes
their
sense.
option spreads really suck, but they may be wonky because it's after hours.
The average is even below a million. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
assuming that the options suck. And now going by this, right? They are then look at. Let's look at this. So Lovesac is, I think they are into the same business as these guys are. Retail trade, specialty stores, retail trade, right? So W, this is what I want to look at. I think they are into the same business, Wayfair, and I want to look at this one. And I think it will push into 134. I think this will happen tomorrow. Okay, 127. No, I think it will happen tomorrow itself. 134. W. Yes, sir. We'll look into it. Wow, this is one of my preferred setups again. So 131. Let's put a base case here. 130.60, and if it breaks here, uh, will put us at 134.70. So let's round that up at 134. Good 4 points, 4 to 5 points on Wayfair. Whether it will open here, I don't know. But if it does clear up here, then we are looking for 139. 152, I don't think this is going to happen, but we are looking for the base case would be 134, and if it clears this, then we're looking for 139. This would be a good trade. Hopefully, I don't forget to trade this. This would be a good trade. And then
Currently got
this
about
other one.
40. We've currently got about a 40-cent spread in the options.
Let's see. What's the lazy boy? Lazy boy. Remind you, yeah. What's the lazy boy ticker? Anybody? Or is it still a public company?
I don't know.
Nah, no. Lazy boy.
LZB.
LZB.
Yep.
That makes more sense. If Lovesack pushed for whatever reason, then be looking at wow, that's trade. See that it traded better than its average here. So yep, and that's how you figure out sympathy play.
Sleep Number, SNBR. It's up
And
2.19% and it's showing almost oversold. SNBR.
55.90. If it can clear here and open up a swing till 57, oh maybe not a swing, but yeah, it needs to clear this number. Once it clears this number, I think we'll push into 57.30. Let's see SNBR here. ZB. Yep. Oh, why? This doesn't look good. We have to wait for a confirmation to push up. And we are. So safe play is 57.37 unless this comes down. The 5 it needs to go reclaim its 5, 57.37. I'll be looking to, if I'm playing a sleep number, I'll be looking to get involved on a lower time frame. I'll look for an entry on a lower time frame. I want to get this resolved, and once that gets resolved, I want to get an entry, better entry. If I can find an entry around here, 54, that'd be an awesome entry. Or I'll take entry around here as well, 54.67. So I think this will need to come back into its 5, uh, 57.30. So even if you can get 57, that would still be a $1.50 trade. Walmart, let's look at Walmart. Walmart, I think it still has room till it's I think 151. I I think it will push into this number. I think it will push into this number. This is not correct. Why is it showing dividend here? Dividend should come after earnings, unless there's some special dividend. I don't know. Walmart is best of the breed, and if Walmart can clear this number, which is the second standard deviation, I think it will start to push into its third standard deviation. Just started to curl up. Oh, okay. This is the uptrend is intact here. I don't see any cracks in the uptrend. Yeah, this is coming down, but that's fine. This is Walmart. It can handle that. Ooh, this is total red. So even if it can come down to its mean, that is still a good thing. I don't think it's going to go back all the way to its mean. Let's see if it can bounce off of its mean on the 15. It looks like if it breaks its 21 here, 146.99 somewhere here, then we'll look for a test of 146.57. It has to bounce here. But if it breaks here, then I think a push down toward 146.26. Uh, I will look for an entry on Walmart. If I were trading Walmart, I will look for an entry, a better entry. I think Walmart will continue its push into this number. 151, and it has been within this range for quite a bit of time, right? It's been in this box for quite a bit of time. Let's see, all the way from now, June last year, it's been stuck in this box. So if you were to have a little bit of, longer time frame, you could have played this to T every single week. Just look at the longer, higher time frames, and you could have played this thing easily, up, down, up, down. Or like buy contracts a month out or something like that, ride it all the way up and exit there, and again go back for the puts and ride the puts. This time, the difference between these candles and these candles is that these candles were really heavy, big candles. Right now, you're not seeing that. And I think that's because retail is lacking in these candles. Retail doesn't want to believe that these moves are real. But if VIX dies down, and this is where it will go. Most likely, VIX will die down. VIX has no reason to come up. This trade, which I was pretty hopeful that it was go into 51, this trade did not pan out the way I was expecting it to pan out today. Doesn't mean the trade is dead, but the trade is still on. So I was expecting a push into this 200, and usually 200 acts as solid resistance, and also if it comes down here, solid support. So this is acting as solid resistance here, and if it can clear here, it doesn't look good with a doji here, and I think if it can test this number 46,371, I think it will test that number. And if it can hold this here, that's good. If not, it will come back down to 45.6. So miners will take a hit on this push down. A good 1.5k on this. Well, I don't see a whole lot of downside to crypto yet. So look for a bounce here first if you're trading crypto. If that breaks, and you can short crypto or miners, and look for a bounce around here 45.5. It will be a solid bounce here. And again, you can look for a Mara hut, whatnot. 10-year, as we were expecting it to come down, it came down. No surprises here. A bounce here is not out of the question. Then it needs to actually come back down. It has to break this, at least for technicals. It needs to break this and come back down. To what degree? Let's see that. 2.18. Wow. 2.36 is where it is hanging around now. Yeah, it should probably test this 2.35 and probably bounce around here. And there it is. It needs to come back down and test this number. And on, where is that? Yep, yep. It will need to bounce here. So I think a bounce from here would be a solid bounce. If it doesn't touch here and bounces off something, this will be an ephemeral bounce then. If it doesn't base it bounce of something, it will be an ephemeral bounce. Has to come back down and test 2.34. Then that will be considered a good bounce. If not, it will come back down, test this number and break and push down below that, test 2.32. That will happen right about here. This will be a good bounce, 2.32. So this is how you figure out whether it's an ephemeral bounce versus a solid bounce. If it's bouncing from here, this is an ephemeral bounce. This, it's bouncing from here, so it's an ephemeral bounce. Yeah, it's just trying to resolve its 15-minute, and this will be a good bounce, 2.32. I'm expecting this to come down to 2.32 and bounce. This will happen on the overnight session. Uh, I think tomorrow 10-year will push up again. So I don't think that's going to happen. Mean is sitting at 2.13. This would not be good if it comes down here. This will be a bad push down if it actually, if it happens violently towards 2.14. This will be a bad sign. Uh, and these moves need to happen in a fashion that are okay that are okay with the markets. Violent push down towards its mean. This would be disastrous for the markets tomorrow if it does happen. And there's no gap from 2.35 all the way till 2.25 or 2.2 and then 2.14. Let's see how this plays out tomorrow. OSTK, yes, sir. I was looking for that figure. I forgot about it. OSTK. This is one of the better trades that you can make. OSTK. Okay. I don't know what their guidance is, but OSTK, this should be a good trade here. Clearance of 52.76 will put OSTK at 57. It's used to trade around 100. Okay. And wow, it came back down. 50. 57 should happen on OSTK. There's enough room to the upside. It is crossing over. This is so. How do we even read these technicals? Let's see. So if we can get this going, the MACD, if MACD crosses, that would be a technical sign. But if you see the money flow index push up here, that's when I want to get involved in OSTK. And I think OSTK will test 52.74 tomorrow. It closed above this number, so it will test this number. One standard deviation. If it clears one standard deviation, then I'll look for two standard deviation, 55.50. And then this should be the top. So basically what I'm saying is if it enters this zone above this Bollinger Band, then you can look for a test of mean. Might not happen tomorrow itself. That's the theory that it should hold true. So I'm not really making a watch list for tonight like we did yesterday, simply because I'm not seeing the moves that we want to catch. Besides Microsoft and besides Apple, I'm not really keen on open. I want to see the open how it fares, and tomorrow, of course, we'll have in the morning. I think we'll figure out something to trade. But right now, as of where things are standing, it's I think tomorrow's session will be a reverse of today's session or past couple of days sessions, where I think will open higher and then will push down. That's what I think it will happen tomorrow. Doji. Let's see. And tomorrow, wow, it actually did that. Right. Cool. So let's see. Push into 231. If crowd pushes here, then we could look for a 231 to the upside. Uh, and to the downside, I'll be looking at 219 for crowd. 218, 219, and then to the upside, 231 for crowd. Octa was a clean trade. And if you come across these technicals anytime that you have, oversold markets, oversold conditions, and I think Octa will continue its push higher into 160. Right now it's sitting about here, and I think Octa will continue its push into 160. And if 200, if Octa can clear 200, I think Octa will test 165. This if you come across this kind of setup, right, where you're when you see the super trend getting hit, and it's a bull market, or rather the markets are pushing up, just go blindly with the trades, especially these kind of trades. Just go blindly into these trades. These will print. And one more is Facebook. So yesterday I was looking for Facebook to test 225, and then the top would be around 234. And I'm still looking for this 233, 234 number. Got close to it, but not there yet. I think tomorrow around open, this will happen. Around open, this will happen. And if we couldn't catch this 234 open, then look to go short. And I think it will bounce around 226 or that range again. This is where it needs to go, Facebook. And look for a push down from here. I think it will happen at the open itself. We'll hit this number and look for a push down from there. Facebook. There. So this is the reason you could actually look for a push down on Facebook. Once you see this crossing here, and we can definitely push down. But how far? Probably, I don't know, the 228.60. This is where it should bounce again. 225, I don't think it's going to go down that far, but we got one bar, two bar, maybe one more bar. And even if you can get a half cycle, that would be, I don't think it's going to go beyond that. But tomorrow late in the afternoon, I think markets will come down. That's what I'm thinking. Everything went up super high, and I think everything needs to take a breather until Tesla decides to hit 1070. 1170. If that happens, then it's a separate story. But otherwise, I think the markets will push up into the morning and then come back down during the later part of the day. That's my thesis for tomorrow. Any further questions? Caesar to the downside. Facebook, okay. And let's see Facebook a little bit further. Okay. This is almost getting resolved. Almost getting resolved. Whole thing. And this is where it needs to head, 227.95. A bounce here is pretty much imminent. If it can come down either to here or here, 228.50, around here, a bounce is pretty much imminent. And watch for 8 over 21, 8 below 21. Watch for that number here. Right? Keep a watch on this one, 8 below 21. And I think Facebook did that on the lower time frame. Yep. So keep an eye on this. It happened here, and it's about to happen here. And keep an eye on this one. The moment 8 below 21, the prospect happens, you'll see it coming down, and it actually closed below its 50. Keep an eye on that. Facebook to the downside. And if at open, if it hits this number, it is a definite short here. Caesar. Why is it going up? I think Caesar is going up for a pretty good reason that the domestic business is doing good. And I think Disney will also do good alongside all of these casino stocks and whatnot. Disney should also do good. 84.73. Yeah, there's a good upside for Caesar. If it can clear, if it has entered this zone and if it can clear this zone, then we're looking for a push into 84 for Caesar. Yep, yep, yep. There. Uh, that's old news, but yeah. Uh, March 22nd, 23rd. No, way too away, very far away. Not good. Not good. I would, these are trades. These are basically trades. So, look to get in, look to get out. These are trades. Uh, 212. I don't think it's going to happen, but this has done strange things in the past. 196, 165. Look for a bounce on GME. 165 area bounce for GME. If that breaks, I think 157 area bounce. Rather, not bounce, but if it can break here, then we look for a downside on GME. But look for a bounce here. This bounce will happen. It will be a technical bounce, but this bounce will happen. 165.73. All right, cool thing. Check XOM. XOM XOM has got nothing to do with technicals as of now. Right, so if you want to play XOM, you gotta look for this one. Identical charts. So if you want to play XOM, you gotta look at oil, almost identical charts, the spike, push down, and oil is threatening to come back down to its mean, which is about 87. I think this will happen. I think there's enough international pressure for oil to come back down. At least 91.80. This will happen for oil. 105, 102. When will this happen? I don't know, but this needs to happen. This will happen on oil. There's enough international pressure, and if this uh, oil will go up later, but not now. Oil will go up later when the effects of all of this Russian oil getting banned and whatnot will take full effect. Oil will push higher, gas will push higher, but for now, this is speculation, right? There's no real constraint on the supply side of things. Everything is as is, mostly. So there's no supply side constraints as of now. As of now, this was just speculation. So it is coming back down. And I think oil traders or commodity traders who are trading oil as of now, they are under immense pressure to not do this. And I think governments around the world are pretty much on this case. Oil will come back down. Yeah, this is a doji. This is a doji. So if you are playing, if you want to play any stock which is oil related, you need to have oil here and then play whatever that you want to play. 1 or 235. I think I should need to go back and test this again. The 50. That would be nice. That means it will come back down to test this number here. 79.25. I'm not playing oil. I haven't been playing oil since all of this started, whatnot. So I'm not into any of these plays. All right, ladies and gents. Any specific stock you want me to look at? If not, we'll call it a night. And tomorrow morning we'll do it all over again. I wouldn't be available, I think, day after tomorrow for the morning charting session, but I'll be available for trading day. A great night, sir.